Hello, this is the Gateway Log. My name is Derek, and this is where I talk about my experience with the Gateway tapes, or currently the Gateway Voyage online experience, which essentially takes you through a lot of the greatest hits of the Gateway tapes. Last night, I did Focus 15 Free Flow, and good gosh, that was a full night of, or a full session of visions. So I'm gonna get into that. Now, I want to preference that yesterday I was starting to wonder, like, what can I do to friggin' open myself up? Because I just feel like I've had a lot of pieces, but nothing, grandiose. So yesterday I used some tuning forks and like tried hovering them over my chakras. I didn't know. I was just like ding, and I'd hold it over and ding it multiple times. I tried a little bit of Reiki to kind of help my energy chakras again. Just trying stuff. I went online and looked. I understand how Reiki works and the symbols and all that, so I tried that out. All right, so last night I go into free flow, Focus 15, and right out of the gate, once I go at like Focus 10, when this first vision hits me, and it's very clear. It's like I see a field and I see a bunch of woods in the distance, and I see a man on a white horse, and there's arrows sticking out of the man, and he's like the horse and the man's falling down like he's just been killed by a bunch of arrows. And I instantly thought, oh, am I seeing this from the point of view of a Native American? Because if you've watched my previous videos, you'll know that I had a past life regression where I might have been a Native American, and I've had multiple hits that might align to that. So that was my first thought, and then that vision disappeared. Then I had a vision of, as I was going up to Focus 12, I saw a bunch of corn stalks that were just like lined up and tall in a big long line of it. And then I was like first person view flying through it at the top of it, and they were just pancaking to the ground down. Like they were falling in front of me before I'd get to them, and they were flattening out. And then my first thought on that was, oh, is this like, crop circles? I don't know. I didn't see a circle. I just saw a straight line of corn just completely get melded down really fast. And then that disappeared. And then while I was in Focus 15, I felt like I was tingling, and I don't know. I was definitely like getting the feeling of flying. I felt like I was rising and falling, and definitely had a lot of stuff there. And then I had a random, it was like I was in the void. Everything was black. And I felt like I was on a beach, but you could barely see the beach. And then when you look out in the ocean at midnight, there's like no stars, no clouds. It's just black. And a memory of mine hit me from like 4 years ago, and it seemed very insignificant, but I remember at the time it was kind of a gut punch when it happened. And so I kind of experienced that a little bit. And then I started to then come out of Focus 15. And then right when I came out, I was like, no, I got to keep going. Cause like I was going, my brain was just firing. And so and the time went by so fast. It was so quick. So then I went to the Expand app and turned on Focus 15 for 20 minutes and went back in. And I didn't have to do the affirmations or anything. It was like I locked right back into Focus 15. And I then saw I was looking up at a tunnel, and then I felt myself get pulled, like I was being pulled from my chest, and my arms and legs were back, like I was being pulled up a tractor beam, and I was rotating as I was going up this thing. And I was like, okay, well, this is interesting. And then I saw a face. It looked like, I can't be sure if this was the face or if it just looked like it, but it was kind of like a cloudy shaped thing. And it was like two black eyes, and all that. And then it just kind of morphed a little bit. It looked like a gray alien, but bigger, much bigger face. And then all of a sudden I see this circle of energy on top of me. And then I'm just like laying there and just vibrating at a high level. And eventually that starts to kind of fade out. And I'm like, okay, coming down from that a little bit. And then I feel like I'm laying there, and I feel like my fingers hurt a little bit, like it's like electricity is sparking or something in my fingers. But then I feel like I'm floating a few inches above myself. I can't see it, but I feel like I'm slightly detached. And then the tape starts to come out, and I'm trying to hold on. And then it feels like I'm coming out of that tape, and it feels like somebody's got their whole hand on my head, and they're putting all their pressure right here in the middle of my forehead, like where the third eye would go. And it was just so much pressure right there. And I will say during the whole, through the exercises, one of the things I try to do is, because my mind just likes to wander, is that I had to count. I had to essentially count my breaths, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So it kept my left brain just locked in on something so I wouldn't have thoughts to move anywhere else. And that seemed to shut my brain up enough so I could let things happen. But anyways, yeah, so somebody was grabbing me on the head, and then it just, the rest of the night, I felt like I just had a lot of pressure right here. And when I was doing my meditation, I really tried to look up at my third eye, because they say you should do that to help open it. But like all last night, I felt this pressure right here. All of today, I felt that pressure right there. So that was a lot. It was a lot of hits, because I hit the Native American thing, which I've had in past lives. Hit the alien visuals. I hit the void. I felt like I was detaching a bit. Lots of stuff on Focus 15. So, if you've ever had experiences like this or big flash, please share it with me. I'd like to know. With that, my name is Derek. This is Gateway Log. I'll keep you posted as I go through my additional sessions. Until then, I'll see ya.